For a typical brown or white seeded loaf, making bread in the Breadmaker takes approximately 5 minutes preparation time plus 4 hours cooking. That really is all the labour involved. The Breadmaker takes care of kneading and making the dough, allowing the dough to rise and baking the bread to the ideal consistency. Our video is an introduction to baking a bread on setting 1 of our Panasonic machine. The setting for a 500 gram loaf, a little over half the size of a full-size loaf in a supermarket. Many bread makers have many more functions than this, from express baked loaves to specialty bread such as brioche, pizza bases or fruit loaf. There is also a raisin, seed and nut dispenser on our machine just above the main baking oven. The machine can automatically add any extra ingredients at the right time in the recipe. The bread we're baking in this video is the type of loaf we bake several times a week. One of the great things of baking our own bread is that there is so little wastage. Once a loaf is running out, we bake the next one, meaning that we are always eating fresh bread. The Breadmaker has a removable bread pan and paddle. The paddle must be inserted before any ingredients are added to the bread pan. All the ingredients are added to the bread pan outside of the Breadmaker itself, ensuring that the oven stays clean of any spillages. Weighing the ingredients is important for good results. Rather than use the nut dispenser, we usually buy flour that comes with seeds already mixed into it. The first ingredient added to the pan is a teaspoon of yeast. Our Breadmaker came with a helpful measure. Next add the flour. The Breadmaker can make different sizes of loaf, which is actually different heights of loaf rather than length, as the same bread pan is used to bake all loaves. After the flour, add 1½ teaspoons of salt. Water comes next, about 330 milliliters, and finally a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. For white bread we use slightly more water and 1½ teaspoons of sugar too. The bread pan is then added to the Breadmaker, a few buttons are pressed, followed by 4 hours of cooking. There is an express bake too that cooks in half the time, but we like the results of the longer bake. Ideally the bread is removed as soon as the alarm sounds on the Breadmaker that cooking is complete. The benefit of doing this is a nice crispy crust. Removing the bread from the bread pan takes a little shaking. This is because it needs to be freed from the mixing paddle. When the loaf comes out, there is a little hole in the bottom of the loaf where the mixing paddle sat. Allowing the bread to cool for about an hour makes cutting the loaf easier. If the bread is warm when cutting, the body of the bread can be a little sticky. The joy of eating homemade fresh bread and the ability to experiment with different flours and ingredients make many people never want to go back to buying bread in their weekly shop. Please like or share our video. For more homemade recipe ideas, see our website lovetolearnallotmenting.co.uk.